Have you ever noticed in your self-improvement journey that you find yourself constantly relapsing, failing, sitting on the couch and eating junk food, and never doing any of the hard work? Today I'll be giving you some actionable steps on how to get back on your feet and continue to do the hard work. I've been on a self-improvement journey for almost 2 years now, and throughout those years I've been constantly failing, relapsing, messing up. It's pretty natural. But I kept getting back on my feet and trying and over again. And what I realized with relapsing and failing, that I wasn't properly getting rid of my bad habits. Yes, I was going to the gym, reading, doing deep work, and improving all the skills that I want to level up in life. But I still had bad habits lingering around. I still was tempted by porn and social media and a lot of instant gratifications, food even. I wasn't properly getting rid of them. And I'll be giving some actionable steps to keep you consistent and on track to keep improving your self-improvement journey. Over and over in my early stages, it seemed like it would get stagnant or I'd fall back down, getting to, let's say, level 7 of self-improvement. Just right up here, and then boom, right back up again in a few months. Boom. I didn't have these actionable steps to keep me consistent in going beyond the level I've never reached before. This takes me to the first actionable step, cutting out the bad habits. When you say to yourself that, oh, I'm only going to be on my phone for 5 minutes, but you end up scrolling for 25, or only having a bite of that chocolate bar and you end up eating the whole thing. What I found out is you can't just dip your toes into temptation and or those bad habits. You don't even want to get near them. You want to have the rational thought, of course, to get out of it if you do step into that bad habit. Whether that's watching porn and catching yourself and kicking it out of the way, or the junk food, or the social media. You can go on things like dopamine detox if that's what you're interested in, that's what you think you need. And it could be simple as going through your pantry and removing the food that you don't want to eat, going through the fridge and removing that ice cream. Not everyone has the luxury of completely changing out their life. When you live with your mom and dad, which most likely you do, they want ice cream in the house. They want sugars, they want sweets. Your mom will bake for you. God bless her. But it takes a mental power to not eat that stuff. You can sit down a piece of chocolate and stare at it for an hour and realize, why am I a slave to that trigger, that temptation? But a very level 1 actionable step is just to try to remove all of that stuff out of your way so you can focus on your goal. And we will discuss why maybe this first step, the reason why it's so low on the list is because there's a better one at the end of the video. Actionable step number 2 is taking accountability of your actions. The accountability I hold myself up to are these videos. If I preach a certain message, if I teach what I believe and I don't live up to it, of course things change, but I feel a lack of authenticity, like I lied to myself and the audience. Another example is a story I'll tell you about my workout journey. I would tell people I would work out because I love it. I love working out. I go as much as I possibly can without hindering my performance. But in school, I would tell my friends, oh yeah, I work out, let's say 4 times a week, and I do this and that. I'm constantly working out, stretching. Anytime I get, I'll do some push-ups, type of mentality that I would tell them. And it was kind of fun to see, because when you're on self-improvement, you start to become better than the average Joe. Not everyone works out, so when you tell people, you kind of get this pride in you. But I realized at that time, I kind of started to lay off the hard work on the working out, for example. And I realized that, and I found out myself that I'm like, oh shit, I'm lying to myself because I just told them that I work out 5 times a week and I haven't worked out in 2 weeks. What am I doing? I'm lying to myself and I'm lying to the people around me that they still believe that I work out every day after school. That is a perfect example of accountability because I told myself, and I'm held accountable when my friend asks me, "Oh, when was the last time you worked out?" And I have to lie because I'm too scared to give them the real answer of, "Dude, I haven't done that in 2 weeks." It got me off my ass and back into the gym doing the hard work. So that was 2 examples of taking accountability for my personal experience. These videos and telling people what I want to do. I want you to go out and journal or write and think about how things you want to do you can be held accountable for. Whether it's getting a gym partner or just telling people about some of your smaller goals and ambitions. Of course, goals and ambitions change, and you shouldn't tell everyone your master plans because, don't make promises you can't keep. And remember, with gained accountability, you are held accountable. This can damage your image if you go tell everyone you're going to be this crazy entrepreneur that works 10 hours a day and does this and that and this and that, and you end up not doing any of it, and people call you out. So be careful. The third actionable step I have for you is creating a timetable. When you figure out your self-improvement journey, it seems like you're walking aimlessly, that every day you have a general idea, but you don't know how it's going down. The timetable is the foundation of your day, week, month, and even year if you plan it out that far. You can do every day, you can do a week, you can do a month. It's like goal setting for a short period of time. It allows you to understand that, today gym is at 11:20. Gym is at 11:20. It's not, I think I'll go to the gym today. No, today is gym at 11:20. Or I wake up then, I have to do this then. It gives you the idea of what to do, when to do it. So I compel you to get to the piece of paper and write down what you want to achieve throughout the day and what would be the best time for it to happen. For me, I wake up at 5:30. I take a cold shower. I get dressed. I get my coffee. I work for about a 90-minute block in the morning before I have to go off to school. Then after school, it's work, as in working out, lunch, shower. I have 2 reading blocks in my day, middle, and then at night I read and I learn, and I have my meals planned out. So I have the whole day, mostly the morning, planned out, and some small blocks midday to night of knowing what I'm going to do. The last actionable step that I will give you, which I also think is the most important in staying consistent in self-improvement, is the identity change. The changing of belief that you are no longer a loser and like everyone else, but instead a man trying to achieve his dreams and the best possible version of himself. One simple thing I'll tell you 2 things, and I want you to answer which one is more compelling. The person that goes to the bar, and when he gets asked if he wants to drink, he says, "Oh no, I quit drinking." Versus the man that went to the bar to hang out with friends, and when he gets asked for a drink, he says, "Oh no, I don't drink." The slight tone difference that I find in any conversation is just how you word yourself. You could say, "Oh, I quit jerking off." Instead, you could say, "I don't. I just don't do it." You constantly repeat that to yourself over and over, daily, weekly, whenever it comes up, and you just rewire your brain to start believing, and the progress you make, which we'll discuss in a second, changes how you see yourself. And an identity tip I would give you is to find someone you look up to. It could be a YouTuber, it could be a historical figure, it could be a guy from a movie. For example, I love James Bond. I love watching him while growing up. I thought he was slick, smooth, badass, just a gentleman. So that's who I look up to. When I don't want to get out of bed, I can think, well, James Bond, why would he sleep in if he has a mission to go do? If he has to save the world again, he has to jump out of bed super early, get the work in, get the lady, save the day. If I'm thinking about, oh, I want to jerk off or something, I think of, is James Bond going to do that? Why would he? He has no time. He gets ladies too. If my room's dirty, I think of, for example, James Bond. Why would his room be dirty if he's a sophisticated man, a gentleman? James Bond doesn't have a dirty room. But you could do this with all different types of figures. Thomas Shelby or whatever. I look at some historical figures like Marcus Aurelius or some YouTubers that I look up to, and I say, I want to be more like them. I'm going to compare myself in a healthy manner. And whenever I'm doing something that I don't want to do, I start to kind of realize and change what I'm doing. Another great tip is to look at your future self. When you're scrolling on social media or doing something you don't want to do in the future, why are you doing it now when you can stop right now? And the last part of this identity change is progress. When you naturally start doing hard work, you stop seeing yourself as that loser that watches anime in their basement, that's depressed, that's sad, that doesn't have the muscles, doesn't have the girls, that's locked in a dark room being sad. When you start going to the gym, when you start waking up early, when you make it in that cold shower when you don't feel like it, when you start doing the hard work when you don't feel like it, you stop being a little Jeffrey. You stop being a loser. The countless times that I've done the hard work when I didn't feel like it, the countless times that I failed and I got back up, it's made me who I am now. I no longer do these stupid habits because I've hurt myself over and over again and I've got back up. I've changed how I've seen myself. I don't have sweets anymore. I say no thanks. I don't eat sweets. I don't jerk off. I go to the gym. I work hard. I wake up early. See that? I kind of went on a rant, but see the power of that? You start doing the hard work. The hard work that just, it's a pain in the ass. And you're proud of yourself. I'm proud of every time that I've woken up early, that I've gotten out of bed when I didn't feel like it. When I went to the gym when I didn't feel like it. I'm proud of that. I'm the man who does that now. Isn't that amazing? So I want you to go out today, take the lessons I've got for you and implement them. Definitely this last one, because you can change the way you think. You can conquer the world. So go out there, figure it all out, do the hard work.